So I want to tell you something absolutely crazy. Recently, I have been attacked like no other, and I'm talking about satanic, demonic attacks. And last night was sort of this culmination of all these attacks. And I almost succumbed to some of those temptations and those attacks, thinking negatively, saying, you know what, maybe it's okay, and just different things like that. But in that moment, I thought to myself, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And he did. And in fact, I fought so hard, mentally, physically, just in my own thoughts and just the way I'm thinking, my outlook, all these things, that I sat there and I thought, Lord, surely angels in heaven are rejoicing over this moment. And when you are under extreme heat, when you are under an extreme attack, that is a sign that something is happening in your life, because Satan knows, the devil knows that he wants to derail this path for you. But what's amazing about this is that if you allow this heat, if you allow the hardship, if you allow all of what God is cooking in your life to actually come to fruition, actually go through its full course and process, on the other side is going to be something amazing, a delicious meal waiting to be consumed. And I say this all the time as a cooking example, but if you allow this whole thing to play out, I guarantee you it's much better than if you were to eat it prematurely, if you allow something burnt to happen, if it overcooks, or if you undercook it. Any one of these measures will allow it such that it's going to taste absolutely different and even worse than it was before. If you are a chef or a cook, or you just understand the concept, you know that there's a specific sequence of events that happens. And oftentimes it requires some kind of extreme heat and cooking in the stove, or on the stove, in the oven, grilling, putting fire to it, whatever it is. And it hurts a lot in that moment. It hurts a lot. It's so painful, and it's a process you have to endure. It's not something instant. You know, when you put salt or seasoning on it, it's like quick. You just put it on, mix it up, and you go to your next step. But in the process of heating, when you are under that extreme circumstance, you allow that slow burn, that slow cooking, that slow, insert cooking adjective or verb in there, right? You allow that thing to extend so that once it matures, once it goes through its full course, then you will see that, oh man, it's ready for its next step. And that's what's happening in your life. God is looking at your life and saying, you know what, I just want to cook you just a little bit longer. I want to saute you just a little bit longer. I want to grill you just a little bit longer, because once that happens, it's going to be so magical, so amazing what God will do beyond that, because he's going to use you for big things. So you got to understand that whatever you're going through, whether it's at a point where you know the breakthrough is coming, you're at a point for which Satan wants to derail you. He sees what you're going through. He sees the hardship. He sees the hard work, and he comes out of nowhere, out of left field, trying to tempt you out of it. He's trying to get you to be distracted. He's trying to make you think other thoughts, self-deprecating, even suicidal. These things are coming at you for a reason, because you are in a process for which you are almost there in some sense, or you're going through that process in a good way, even though it seems difficult, even though it seems chaotic, even though it seems too long, too unbearable to take. And this is where you got to rejoice. You've got to rejoice. Read the book of James if you need encouragement. Read the book, just all of the New Testament, but read the hardships, the pain that you've got to go through to be able to be sanctified, to be ready, to be refined as gold. And when this happens to you, you will look back and you will say, man, Lord, you did a good work for me. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so glad for what the next step is. It was tough in the moment. I was complaining. I was grumbling, but it's okay, because you had the best in mind for me, and you knew I was just going through that process. If you're a piece of vegetable, if you're a piece of meat or whatever, and you're in that pot simmering, you're not sitting there thinking, I just can't take this little moment anymore. If you're a chef, if you're somebody big picture, you're looking at it, thinking, at the end of this cycle is where you will see the beautiful, amazing culinary creation. You never think in the moment saying, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. It's burning, it's burning, it's burning. You think about the outcome and the vision and the end goal. That's what you've got to look at in your life. But you got to do that through faith. You got to do that through hope in him, because he is the ultimate person, God, to fixate your eyes on, so that you do not get distracted by temptations. You don't get distracted by other people, other subpar things. And some stuff, Satan can come as a substitute. You don't want to take and taste and eat a substitute. God has something good for you, and he has something amazing ahead, because you're under extreme heat, extreme pressure, extreme hardship, extreme difficulty, and it's being done for a reason. So take heart and look to the future, as God is your hope, your foundation, your cornerstone. Love you guys. Talk to you very soon.